Hello, I am Michelle Dickey, your instructor at Consulting for Heightened Awareness CHA Academy, an e-learning community for leveling up trauma healing and spiritual growth with God's wisdom, basic scientific facts, tried and true techniques, and more. Beneficial courses to help you overcome trauma obstacles and to help you get better organized. Plus, we've got the Spiritual Warriors for Christ membership at CHA Academy. I look forward to seeing you there at CHA Academy, btbw.com. Love and light always. All right. That helps. Okay, everybody. So, the Lord said I have to switch things up a little bit and put that sucker. Yep. Y'all don't know if I don't tell you, right? There you go. All right. So while those notifications go out, we made it. We made it. Remember, God willing, right? Yes. We go live frequently, God willing. And so we're going to talk about the lies of the matrix. And because that's all part of our duty as chosen one, to reprove the wickedness of this world, right? And yes, you're going to see me move around a little bit because that's just the Lord, right? The Lord orders our steps. And so you're going to see me move around a little bit, all right? Yep, we gotta keep things moving. And I want to give y'all this tip also real quick. Those of you on the detox journey with us, the tip I have for you, get you some ice and put it in that water. That's going to help. Because you can ice pack on the outside all day long. But why not ice pack from the inside also? That's going to help. Because at the body temperature on the inside decreases, that improves, let me tell you, that improves the circulation for better and more elimination of all of that excess salt and other toxins as well. Remember that. So when you're going through the detox process, your body's trying to get rid of what doesn't belong in it to make room for the nutrients that do belong in it. That's pretty much it right there. And so let's let those notifications go on out, and we are going to dive into some lies of the matrix because God's been revealing. Remember, he tells us he's going to reveal all, the end stages of life, and this is part of it. And purging that subconscious of these lies. The biggest lie we've been told, right? Go to school, graduate, then go to college, graduate. Then you should be in your whatever career by age, right? Or so. And then you're supposed to get married. That's blocks of ice melting that wouldn't break apart. So never mind. If you hear that every once in a while, okay? A little ice. Because I had to get a bag of ice. Yeah. I was like, I need a bag of ice. But the lies of the matrix, right? We're supposed to be in our career, right? By 25 and then get married, right? Have kids, get this house with a white picket fence, and then retire at age 65, staying dependent on the matrix. A little cognitive dissonance for you all. I heard some narcissists who are sitting there waiting on their Social Security check every month claim that they're not dependent on government. That's how corrupt and unaware they are. And trauma bonded to the matrix. Big time. Okay, they are trauma bonded to the world big time. But that's cognitive dissonance talking. Because I remember going, okay, think what you want to think. All right, and so that's the biggest lie right there, is that go through school, right? Graduate, go to college, graduate. I didn't go back to college until I was 35. Okay? Just for you all. So it's never too late. If you still want to pursue a subject, an industry, or what have you, you want to learn more about it, it's never too late if you want to. But I will tell you this, that if you don't want to go to college, you do want to go to CHA Academy, because that's where you're going to get. You see, I will bring to you all the important basic scientific facts from all of my degrees, because I can do that. In fact, in how the trauma bond is formed, I do just that with God's wisdom and basic scientific fact from the toxicology master's degree right there. Okay, you get to learn the spiritual and the physical in that course. So, lots to keep y'all occupied coming to the academy. So welcome to our growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. We are truth seekers in God's reality now. And so we realized that was one of the biggest lies. And many of us probably saw those photos in the rabbit hole. Yeah, saw those photos in the rabbit hole of how kids are being indoctrinated through all the systems. Now, I mean, we didn't realize it. We do now. And that we realize the world is a stage. Oh, yeah. Just one big, giant stage for make-believe, fantasies, and all of that. Folks in there, hey, there you go. That's right. Thank you, Chris. It is never too late if they still want to pursue, because there are folks, even in their 70s, pursuing degrees, and that's fine. We don't have to do it the way the Matrix, that big lie of the Matrix, right? We ain't got to do it that way. In fact, we learn, chosen ones, if the Matrix said to do something, we do the opposite. All right? And that's just, if the Matrix tells us to go and have something injected to us, we don't do it, because we know what that's about. We are battling. Yes, we are battling in the spiritual. That spiritual wickedness in high places. So I want everybody to keep that in mind, that we're not wrestling against the physical, that spiritual wickedness in high places. The narcissists have that. Remember, that matrix is a narcissistic matrix. It's all about the game of narcissism. God chose us out so we can go through the transformation process and the renewing of the mind, purging that subconscious. Here's another big lie of the matrix, trying to tell you that there's this large group of elites controlling everything. No, that's what the enemy wants you to think. Because remember, the enemy wants to appear larger than he really is. They can't. God is the one in full control, and God still has 2/3 of his angels. And because of that narcissistic matrix is completely out of control, nobody can control it. No. Sure, like rules and regulations and things like that. Okay, so we want to behave, but there's not any. The world is a stage, you all. That story about elites being. Look, we do know that there's some evildoers that do get together and come up with the scamdemics and things like that. Sure, right, that part, and they're all actors wearing silicone masks because they think life is a game. So yeah, I guess you could say we are all human lab rat to some extent, because they want to see who the radio frequency poisoning is working on and who it's not. So you want to be mindful of that as well. But we don't need to walk on eggshells. There's plenty of room on this world stage for chosen ones to get into their purpose. Remember Romans 12:2, right? Okay, that we're not to conform to this world, but to be transformed by the renewing of the mind, so that we can do that which is acceptable, the perfect will of God, whatever He called us to do. But we have to go through the renewing of the mind, a purging of that subconscious, to get rid of these lies from the matrix. Lies about telling us that, like for women, that we don't amount to anything unless we have kids. I've heard that before. That's a lie. That is a big fat lie. I'm telling you. And the matrix uses children to tug at heartstring. Watch out for that. Watch out for that. Seriously. Because in that P matrix, oh, they're big about it. Using children. Yeah. Don't forget, there are things that are staged out here. A lot of the crises that you hear about, not real. Those, listen, I saw the photo of this one kid that was being used. She was a crises actress. A kid. It's the same kid used in 3 different crises. Really? We start to catch this stuff, chosen one. Seriously. Don't forget to put ice in the water. Keep the inside of that body cool as well, outside and in. And you'll notice, that's right, get some ice in that water. And I want to go ahead and point out that another big lie of the matrix. Y'all can share some of the lies you know about in the comment below and in the chat. Yeah, in the comments on the replay, please share. That's how we learn from one another. Iron sharpening iron. Oh, okay, yeah. That's a good one right there. The biggest lie that why did the matrix think there is a time limit on people's life? Well, because right, because it operates carnally. Yeah, it operates carnally. That's why. Remember, to be carnal minded is death. And you know that the symbol, right? Pay attention to symbols out here, y'all. Because that stake with the snake wrapped around it, yeah, that's the symbol of death. That's the demonic realm. Watch out for that. Oh, I know. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's the symbol of death. And that's a big reason why. Because the Matrix played that game of operation. Right? Yeah, trying to get as many people into that kind of a human lab rat as possible. Because ultimately, the enemy wants to, right? He wants to steal, kill, and destroy, right? Okay. So, yeah, that's the other thing. The narcissistic matrix does put limitation on things. Absolutely. And so we learn as chosen one, don't do that. We don't want to put limitations on God. No. Because with God, all things are possible. So we got to stop putting limitations on God. That's for somebody. And so it sure does. And human beings don't have a sell by, use by date. That's right. We don't. We don't have an expiration date. But considering that the matrix is full of narcissists competing with each other, they're not normal human beings. They are the walking dead among us. Spiritually dead, that is. And so we learned that they're the ones that continue to believe the lie, because remember in 2 Thessalonians 2 verse 11, God tells us that he turned them over to strong delusion, so they continue to believe a lie, so that they will believe a lie. Lies are easier for them to believe than the truth, because the God are simple, real simple. God is a simple God, but because they like to complicate things, that's the other thing in the matrix. I like to complicate things that aren't complicated. So along with that, another big lie they tell us is about our digestive system. Let me tell y'all, God revealed to me. He said, yeah, they want you to believe, the matrix wants you to believe that as we get older, that our digestive system changes. God said, no. God said, I didn't make it like that. No. Remember, God made our body so strategically that when foreign substances get in it, it's going to go quick. It's supposed to. It's supposed to. And the enemy knows this. Right? Again, this is toxicology talking, because I had to learn all about drug metabolism. So, right, and there's certain enzymes. Now, I will tell you this. They say that there are different groups, if you will, from different backgrounds that may have an enzyme that another group does not. It just depends. But in general, our body will digest what it's familiar with, and more importantly, what's all natural. The body will go for that first, all natural, like natural cane sugar, corn syrup. It ain't even gonna touch that. It's gonna process, because the enzyme that we have for that to be processed is made to digest that, and not the synthetics. God said that he did not make our enzyme. That's right. He did not make them to process or digest synthetics and fakes. Yeah, so we learn. Start reading labels. You'll be surprised. And just like you'll learn in the community forum at CHA Academy. That's right. I put an article up there all about that. I'm not the only one that knows about this. The corn syrup, how addictive it is. It gets to the frontal lobe. And when the person is feeding their flesh, ooh, that's really good. I want some more of that. That's the purpose. Why do you think when we were younger, we got a hold of that McDonald's cheeseburger and it tasted so good, right? Yeah, there you go. Because of corn syrup and other stuff, but we learned. Yeah, oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not even going to go there, but it's been years, because I've been gluten-free for a long time. So, at the blood type diet that I'm on, as I should be, gluten-free. So, lies of the matrix are many. But our digestive system is going to digest what it is familiar with. And so how God revealed that to me was because I was not taking in enough of solid type fibers. So he told me, he said, when you first went gluten-free, because this works. See, God is going to have us revisit and go through another season. Like he had me acquire some gluten-free bread that are not particularly approved for the blood type diet. He said, however, he said, I'm going to take you through that cycle so that we can soak up the salt that's on the inside of the body. Oh, it's working. Yeah, it's working. And so this is why. And God said, yeah, I need you to acquire this. And then, right, once we get away from that like we did before, and we started going, right, still low carb, but he wanted me to up the ante a little bit to get the solid fibers. And then so I was really surprised. I ate almost a whole bowl of oatmeal with apples and cinnamon. I was like, okay. So that was like my body telling me, okay, we need that fiber. We need the solid fibers. So I want y'all to take that tip. If you're on the detox with us, lesson learned. So now I'm sharing it with y'all. That make sure you're getting both soluble and insoluble fiber. Both. You need a little bit of both. So we can, right, because I can sip on that superfood juice all day long. And I'm getting that. I'm getting the liquid fiber. But I need to get the solids too. And we got to soak up that salt water. Have something to move it on out of the body with. Yeah. And so you will. Listen, you all. Okay. Again, to remind you all, while I'm on this topic real quick, your taste buds are going to fluctuate because you're reducing your sodium intake, right? Reducing the sodium intake, drinking more water when you can, and get both types of fiber. But your taste buds are going to change. So like for one day, let's say you made the superfood, right? And it's very soothing stuff. The next day, because you reduced your sodium for that day, the next day, it might taste a little different. Don't panic. If you know that the ingredients you used for the superfood are fairly fresh or even frozen, because if you use the frozen vegetable, there's the tip, then you know you're going to get pretty fresh because those are what's known as blanched before they freeze it. So when you take it out and you cook it all the way through, it's still, because when they blanch it, it holds in the freshness, and then they freeze it. Read the label. Make sure that's the only thing that's in there. Make sure there's no added salts or sugars. Never forget, that's so important. But your taste buds are going to fluctuate as well. So don't be deceived, okay? Go ahead. If that's the superfood you're eating on for a few days, it's fine. It's not going to go that quick as long as you're keeping it refrigerated. That's right. There's another lie of the Matrix right there. The reason we don't add any salt to anything, it will last longer. So I'm going to share with you all something that God revealed to me when I made a big crock pot of chili, and I ate on that sucker until it was gone. We were taught inside the Matrix that if you don't eat on it within 3 days, you need to freeze it. As long as you don't add a bunch of crap to it, remember, salt is stinky. So if you're adding a bunch of salt to something, then yeah, you're going to want to freeze it because it's going to go. It's going to spoil. Think about that. All that salt on the inside of our bodies as a conduit for radio frequency poisoning, right? Think about it. Because the only reason that I can tell you this is because of experience now making my own fruit and veggie juices and veggie soups. And I'm not adding nothing except little garlic. I'll tell you something, minced garlic. You're gonna learn about this again. Minced garlic is a really good preservative. I found that out. I went, ooh. Yeah, minced garlic served as a better preservative. Salt does not serve as a preservative, y'all. It does not. That's another lie of the Matrix. That salt can be used as a... If that's the case, then how come I can order food that has no salt in it, like unsalted rice cake? We find fruit and nut bars that it's just made of the, let's say, banana, dates, and almond, no salt. And that snack bar will last for a decent amount of time. See, we start to pay attention to this stuff. Because the enemy needs to get as much salt on the inside of our bodies as possible. That's what his agenda is. Well, it's part of it. Because he wants to heat it on the inside. Basically wants to cook us from the inside out. Let that sink in. Because that's what radio frequency poisoning will do. And we don't, that's why we're combating that, y'all. Yeah, combat that. God says, He says, I did not design your body to carry around that much stuff. No. Drink that water. Drink that water. Yep, he had me upgrade to a tumbler that would keep. I know I have my own tumbler back here, right? But the opening too small to get ice cubes in there. It's unfortunate, but that's right, Jeremiah. Welcome to the conversation. Okay, so cornflakes, I don't know. You'll have to look at the label. I don't know. I haven't had a cornflakes in years. So, and not only that, I'm not. When I got here, I stopped consuming cereal because, I'm not. Right, well, I'm not a babe anymore. You know, we're not. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Is I just stopped with that because I had to kind of like keep up appearances in previous environment because we learned something about these evildoers, right? That if we switch something up in their presence, it drives them even more bonkers, right? So we're not walking on eggshells, but I had to kind of keep somewhat of a similar familiarity thing with my rice cereal and soy milk for a season. But I did buy some soy milk when I first got it. I thought I was going to use them for my protein shake. And God told me, He said, no. He said, you don't need no milk. He said, you graduated. He said, you graduated from all that. So I don't even, I'm going to sit there and I'm going to have a tuna sandwich for breakfast. I don't care. Yeah. If I've got leftover dinner, I'm going to have that for breakfast. Yeah. See, the Matrix has people conditioned to believe that breakfast must only be cereal, oatmeal, that kind of stuff. That's what the Matrix. Chosen ones, we learn in God's reality that, we don't have to. No, we don't have to eat lunch at 12. Well, now, if that happens to be your lunch break because of your job, that's one thing. But we don't have to, What we choose to eat for the meal doesn't have to be what they want you to think it is. That's another lie of the Matrix, is what we're supposed to eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, or snacks. We don't listen to that no more. You can, listen, you see what you got on hand. If you want to have some chicken wings for breakfast, by golly, go right ahead. See? Oh, if you're around narcissists and you do that, they're going to look at you funny. But just smile anyway. You were chosen one. God said, yeah, you want chicken wings for breakfast? Get them. You got some leftover chicken wings in the fridge? So go get them if that's what you want for breakfast. That ain't got to be just lunch or dinner. If you want to have one egg over some scrambled sweet potato hash, and what that is a sweet potato cut up in little tiny cubes with bell pepper and onion, saute it in unsalted butter, and you want to get yourself an egg or two, and you want to have that for dinner, well, you can. Or if you want to have that for lunch, you can. Eggs don't have to be just for breakfast. I'm telling y'all, so many lies to uncover inside that matrix. So many lies. Yes. Breakfast meaning breakfast. Break fast. Oh. Yeah, good one. Oh, that's right. Yeah, there you go. Spinach, hash browns, eggs, and salmon for breakfast. There you go. You can do it. Yeah, absolutely. We don't have to. And that sounds really good, though. But yes, you don't have to eat right. But I get you, Chris. Break fast. Okay. That well, I understand. Yep. Yep. There you go. Absolutely. I mean, if you've got sushi and you want that for breakfast, by all means, go right ahead. Oh, listen. Another lie of the Matrix. God revealed this to me because I had to ask. I was like, when Jesus multiplied those 2 small fish and the 5 loaves of bread, I said, did he have to cook up that fish? Because I'm gonna tell y'all, I don't see Jesus walking across that desert with a bunch of camping gear on the back. No. You get the fish out of the ocean and you eat it, right? Well, what is sushi? That was raw fish. And so a lie in the Matrix about sushi is that it feeds the bad. And I believed it once before too, that it feeds the bad parasites. Well, now that we know what the bad parasites are and that the metal toxin from radio frequency, all that excess salt, now that we know that's what it is, God said, yeah, go get you some sushi. Because, right, with the approved fish for my blood type diet, like salmon, tuna, halibut, and a bunch more, but it's going to depend on what type of fish. Get the beneficial and the neutral off the list of the seafood. Because that's part of the blood type diet. And so if I get a sushi roll with that particular fish and it's approved because white rice is approved, seaweed has kelp. Kelp carries what? Iodine. Iodine is a necessary nutrient or mineral, if you will. Because a lot of the salt that we consume in these foods and stuff does not contain iodine. And iodine is metabolic support. Iodine is good for the thyroid. That's the truth. To help the body properly metabolize. This is why you'll find iodine in most of your multivitamins. Because a lot of the salt out here does not contain iodine. It tells you that on a package of salt, right? If it doesn't contain iodine, which is necessary for our body to metabolize. So the lie of the Matrix about sushi, feeding bad parasites. No, it don't. No, it don't. What feeds the metal molecule, right? More salt. So that's another reason why the detox is going to take a little while. And it has layers of onion, absolutely. That ice water, we leading by example here. Detoxing, eating healthier. Dang, Jeremiah got me wanting some spinach. But guess what? I got spinach in my superfood green stuff that I got in there. So I got spinach, collard green, parsnip, turnips, broccoli, and I ended up with a neutral Great Northern bean as the creamy part. But it's all in there. With minced garlic as a preservative, a little cayenne pepper, onion powder, a little ground mustard, and some turmeric. Turmeric, you all, is really great for joint. Instead of going out there and buying a supplement, go to your spice rack. If you've got ground turmeric in your spice, come on now. I'll tell you, a nice big thing of ice water with a teaspoon of ground turmeric plus a teaspoon, just 1 and 1 of ginger, ground ginger. Put that sucker in that ice water. Let me tell you something. I take that on my walk and get that turmeric. Ginger help to break away air pocket. While the turmeric, as I'm walking, that's right, it's circulating through the muscle, joints, which is really good for. Okay. See, the Matrix wants to sell you a bunch of, listen, I know, supplementation is based on individual needs. I get that. But I'm telling y'all, because I was going to, okay, because I had to resist that temptation because God said, look in your cabinet. He said, you use turmeric to make your own Mexican spices, my own curry, right? So I was like, oh. And then I saw, as I was searching for herbal teas, I saw where there were teas that had turmeric and ginger in it, in a tea bag. And I thought, I don't have to get that. I got ground ginger and I got ground turmeric. I'm just going to put, the first time I did it, I had two teaspoons of ginger and 1 of turmeric. And there was, ooh, no. Not a good balance. Not for me anyway. That was way too much ginger. So I reduced it to 1 and 1, and it balances out just fine. Put it in that water. Take it with you on the walk. I'm telling you, you're going to know. Your body is going to tell you, yay, thank you. Give me some more of that. See, your body's going to tell you what it needs. You got to be listening to it. That's right. But the Matrix also lies to us about certain things, symptoms. Never forget, the Matrix will blame radio frequency symptoms on food. That is not a coincidence. So, for example, you start feeling a little sinusy, right? We used to think that was, but it's not. That's your body detoxing. And I could smell the salt when that happened. Oh, yeah. I can smell it because that's what goes into the mucus production, salt and excess salt and sugars. Because the sugar kind of help, y'all, I'm not trying to gross anybody out, but the sugars is what kind of like turn that substance into Not a, well, kind of like a glue, but that's what it's for. Whereas without the excess sugar, for those of you who are on the detox with us, you know what I'm talking about. As soon as we cut out all excess sugars, we notice that it runs more liquidy. Think about that. Easier to get out that way. Aha! For whoever needed that. But just know that whatever the matrix tells us, we double check with God. Yep, we double check with God. Oh, thank you. Yes, Jeremiah. Okay, cinnamon. Turmeric plus ginger plus cinnamon. Thank you. I'm going to try that. I am going to try that. Yes. Okay. All the above. I'm gonna write that down. Thank you, Jeremiah. I didn't think that, but that does. Plus ginger, plus cinnamon. Because I did see on my blood type diet that, right, that cinnamon is a neutral. And I said, okay then, because the matrix lied to me. Like it lies to y'all. The matrix tried to tell me I got GERD. I don't got GERD. No. That's radio frequency poisoning. Ever since we learned what the symptoms of radio frequency poisoning are, we do process of elimination and we start putting the foods back in our diet that we were told was the cause of that symptom or that symptom. Like I shared at the academy, I was told that tomatoes were giving me heartburn. That's what I was told. And because I didn't know anything else at the time, I believed it. But since being here, well, and I will tell you this, smoking cigarette, definitely. When I quit doing that, oh yeah, that right there was a major cause. Because what's in those things? Chemicals. And God revealed to me that, yeah, if you don't think the enemy doesn't put salt inside that tobacco, of course he does. Of course he does. It's just not noticeable. But there's metals that used to mix with all of that in those cigarettes. So every time you're inhaling one, right, you're also inhaling not just air pocket, but salt. Go figure. So that was contributing to what I was told was the result of GERD. There's another reason why the matrix does that. It blames radio frequency symptoms on food so that we do what? Yeah, we go buy a bunch of that over-the-counter stuff that has what? More chemicals. Voila! I started paying attention to that. I was like, hold on a second. So here's a tip. If you are experiencing that type of symptom, get some alkalinity inside your body. Raisin, purple grapes, plums, prunes, green, leafy greens, like romaine lettuce, spinach, peas, okay? Collard green. You want to get some alkalinity in there. If you're starting to feel that radio frequency symptom, rather than take, now if it's bad enough and you need to take an over-the-counter, I'll go ahead and share with you all. There's only one over-the-counter thing that I still have to take through the detox. Okay, But the difference here is in the previous environment, now I know why. I had to take 2 a day. One in the afternoon and 1 at bedtime. Now I know why, because the frequency was up in that environment. Whereas when I got out of that environment and we were able to better monitor and get some more alkalinity inside this body, it's balanced. Okay. And so the Lord said, I just need you to take 1 for right now, because you don't need another one later on. We found that out on business trips too, because I was doing better with getting alkalinity in there. And yes, you all, a glass of red wine is alkaline, because it comes from what? The red grapes. And grapes are what? When they they're turned into raisin. So there you go. And really, you can look it up. It's out there. If you want to know what other foods are high in alkalinity, just Google it. And that's what you want. Hello, Lamar. Welcome to the discussion. Welcome to it. And so the alkalinity, you want to raise the alkaline inside, because what radio frequency doing as it's heating on the inside, right? And then exactly when it's heating on the inside, and if you've got more acid in there, because excess salt is highly acidic. I found that out the hard way. And I went through a season at one toxic workplace where I did it to myself by eating too many gluten-free crackers that were pretty heavy on the salt. And all of a sudden, I had issues. And I had to call out of work. I had to go inside the big H to do something. But I realized later on, I did it to myself. Stressing myself out. So be mindful of that. Don't allow, just because you've got narcissists in the workplace, don't allow them to trick you into stressing yourself out. Okay? Because, boy, that was not fun. No. But I learned that a lot of excess salt on the inside of our body will cause our body to be a bit more acidic. So you want to get some alkalinity in there. Help combat that. Okay, there's your tip. And so, like I said, there's a lot of things. No, don't go eat an alkaline battery. Somebody was thinking that, apparently. No. No. Okay, just foods and vegetables. So there you go. Right, I do know that pink Himalayan sea salt in moderation. Okay, I do know it's supposed to have some benefit, but yeah. If you are able to handle a little bit of that, fine. I don't put salt on nothing. It's all everything that we consume, in my opinion, for me, has plenty of salt in it. But if you're able to and still combat that radio frequency, by all means, to each his own. But I have heard that the pink Himalayan salt does have some sort of said benefits. I don't know exactly what they would be, but because right, what we're learning about this radio frequency and stuff like that, I'm just like, nah, we're not going to salt nothing. Oh, that's good, Chris. Thank you. You. Okay, that would be from the Addams family. Uncle Fester eating batteries, right? I wasn't even thinking of that when I said you got to get some alkalinity in there. Yes, if the radio they're starting to feel a little bit acidic, right? You want to go get some raisins. And I'm going to share with you all, there was a season during one of my detoxes. I didn't know that's what was going on at the time. with the ex-psycho roommate when he was rigging up that radio frequency. And shortly before I left, I remember going to the store and I just went for them raisins. Now I know why. And I did not wait till I got back to the house. As soon as I got back in my car, I opened them suckers up and I was shoving them in my mouth. And now I know why. That was God guiding my step, because he was electrocuting me. And so my body's internal heat was really high. And I was feeling the acidity. And so God guided my step to go and get that thing of raisin. And I opened them up and I started eating them right there. So that tells me a lot. So of course I'm going to keep raisins on hand. Absolutely. And so you want to make sure that you are, but you just want to make sure you're eating healthier, especially on the detox journey. That's right. Would be right. Eating batteries might be full detox and the last one. Okay, thank you, Jeremiah, for clarifying. Okay, pink Himalayan sea salt is a full body detox. Okay, I did not. Okay. So that kind of salt, thank you for that. Okay, so that kind of salt actually helps the body detox. Okay, I'm going to keep that in mind. Okay, thank you. See, this is what it's all about in this growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. We're learning from each other, because I'm like, okay. So, I'm gonna read more about that. Thank you. I'm gonna have to get some more water. Right, hard to believe I drank that whole thing already, right? Anywho, yeah, I like the way y'all think. Yes, I do. I like the way y'all think. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. I know that there are detox things available at these health food stores too. Yeah. And really, I'm gonna leave that up to y'all. I'm doing it all natural for the most part. God has me up in the ante on some supplementation, yes. Because when he revealed that, right, the matrix lies and says that our body is only going to metabolize about half of the multivitamin, and God said, no, that's a lie. That's another lie of the matrix, by the way. God said, your body is going to absorb whatever it needs, when it needs it. It knows how to do that. So if I'm taking a multivitamin and it has 100 milligrams of, let's say, magnesium, well, if all of that going to the brain first, there's not enough left to go where it needs to go, I will have to take a little bit more. Okay? That's that. The same thing with vitamin C. And that's a big one for any of us who are healing from bruising. Yeah. Extra vitamin C. Best tip ever. So that's just another lie of the matrix. That your body is only going to absorb half. See, that's the scarcity mindset too. That's putting limitations on God. God's like, yeah, don't listen. Listen, there's a lot of those professionals inside the matrix. They are taught that stuff, and so they get deceived, and so they do the deceiving. That's the other thing we learn about ourselves. You know, when the Matrix tried to tell us we had this wrong with us, or we had that wrong with us. Remember, that's a deficit-seeking world out there. It's always looking for something wrong. Oh, gosh, yes, y'all. I'm no stranger to it either. If any of you all are getting them, it is what it is. Ignore them. Spam it. Put it in the spam folder. I'm getting all kinds of that narcissism side of marketing. They're sending me emails. Right? Yeah. Doing the love bomb. I love your content, but your SEO rank is low. They want me to pay them to do what I already know how to do with hashtags and keywords. And and not only that, because there's a lot of them in there in the Matrix, y'all, that they have that demon of desperation. So they assume, because they have the demon of assumption, they assume that we are too, and we're not. Because we know that great things take time, right? But we also learned that once we have been lied to, that's right. And so that's why we depart. If we have partnered up with anyone, right, and they told us that we would be getting, let's say, sponsorship, and then almost a whole year goes by and we don't have any sponsorship yet, yeah, you've been lied to. So it was time to go. It was time to go. It was time to leave. So we learned these things. Oh, yeah, no, I mean, I'm grateful for the experience. Absolutely. Because I learned more about the industry, and I also learned more about advertising. So now that's why our Motivational Monday show is structured for that, inserting little short advertisement. Yeah, just like you'll find at the beginning of this one on the replay. Cilantro is. Yep. Thank you, Chris, for sharing that as well. Cilantro, natural herb, typically are great for detoxing. Absolutely. And so that is what is in my neutral superfood. Is a nice big, if you will, of the cilantro. Absolutely. So thank you for reminding me of that. Right. And thank you, Chris, also for that. Yes, we do not recommend laxatives. No. No, and no. Because I learned from, on TikTok, I came across this doctor. I don't remember his name, but he did come out and he said he did not sign up to become a doctor to do what a lot of others are doing with prescribing laxatives. He said, no, he said, why don't, he said, instead of just telling them to increase their magnesium intake, why? He said the laxatives out there will dehydrate your colon, and that's the last thing you want to do, especially during a detox. So yeah, don't. If you must, I took his advice. Yeah, I would not recommend that. No, you don't want to because during the detox you need to stay hydrated. So you don't want to do that. That would be oh gosh, please don't do that. Don't do any laxative during the detox, because I'm here to tell you, and back it up, that your body's going to do what it needs to do naturally. Remember the message I had not long ago. You cannot force what's going to happen naturally. All right? Yeah, God's like, don't do that. Okay, we cannot force what is going to happen naturally. Very important. I'm telling you. And so your body will, as long as you stay hydrated. So instead of that, you can go to, you can even go on Amazon, but remember something. Okay, let me grab something so that I can share with you all what I'm talking about. Okay, because You don't want to, exactly, you don't want to have a supplement that had a bunch of stuff in it that you can't pronounce or that you don't even know what it is. You don't want to have that. Okay? And so, for example, on a magnesium supplement, this here is magnesium oxide. Okay, y'all, magnesium, there's different types. Okay, so the oxide, because that helps the muscle relax. So basically, the other ingredient, microcrystalline cellulose, gelatin, magnesium stearate, and silicon dioxide, which is just to prevent caking. But that's it. That's it. All that's okay. That's what you would want in a natural, capsule. Okay? And it does not contain gluten, sugar, salt, preservative, artificial colors, or flavors. That's what you want to look for too. All right? You don't want it to have any of the artificial colors or flavors, and you certainly don't want it to have salt. Okay? And so that's all natural supplement. And so a little extra magnesium oxide, and it works wonders. It also helps get rid of air pocket. Absolutely. Air pocket. So there you go. And I know that listen, God already confirmed for us in the growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. Right. And that's another good point about laxatives that many of us didn't know until later. That it's not the healthy way to lose weight either. Oh, yeah, coming from experience in some ways. Because I know I went through a season of it. I got myself all the way down to a size 0. And no. While that was fine and nice for a time, I realized, okay, I don't even like that on me. Like, I don't even like that on me. So I had to get back to my 3. That's the range. Because I was like, I size 0 in my mid-20s. That was no. And I did it by not eating meats except fish. I ate seafood, but I did it by not eating meat. I stayed pretty much with, at that time, and I wasn't on the blood type diet, but I basically was eating fruits, rice cakes, peanut butter. Yeah, that was not the right way to lose weight and do what I did. So I learned my lesson. Yes, learned my lesson too, right? And so so when I finally did get it back to where I wanted to start walking again and toning up and things like that, we didn't do it that way. We knew better because we had to put meat back in our diet. And then I started to learn about the blood type diet and realized that as the type that I am, that I'm supposed to be eating meat, high protein, low carb, and that I'm supposed to be gluten free. So I'm like, okay. And just to share that with you all, that you don't want to lose weight in an unhealthy ways to do it, because I know there's a lot of these programs out here that are made to sell, their brand, what have you, and that's fine and nice. If you find that one of those weight loss plans works for you, then by all means, okay. But I would stay away from. Okay, personally, I would stay away from any of them that promise you, like, that you'll lose a large amount of weight in a very short amount of time. That's not the way to do it. Because you want to keep the weight off, right? Okay. So basically, once you start eating healthier, and then you know your portion, right? Remember, the portion that the matrix tells us, okay, like Chris Scherer, another author, said two handful per portion. And then, of course, that equals out to about the size of a sandwich plate. Okay? So that's what I'm using. Yeah. When I did my over medium egg with some sweet potato hash, and I put that egg inside the kind of like a waffle. Yeah, I cut the circle. Egg in a blanket. Yeah. I cut the circle out, put the egg in there. And that I used a sandwich plate. And that's all that went on there. And that's it. And I'm finding out that I get satisfied a lot quicker, and there might be a few pieces that end up in the trash. It is what it is. We get what we want. We get what we need. And what is satisfactory. And then, okay. So, there you go, everybody. Yep, sandwich plate, ideal. Right, very good. Your stomach is only the size of your fist. That's right. Something to think about when you, right, you're going, hey, wait a minute. Exactly. So, keep that in mind, everybody. But, we covered, hey, listen, we're covering a bunch. We're at the end more additional lies of the matrix. That we're uncovering God's spiritual truth as we're supposed to, because being truth seekers now, after all, we learned that, oh my goodness, we've been lied to since birth. Not just about things with ourselves, because we realize there's nothing wrong with us. The world wants us to think there is, just like the narcissists think there's something wrong with us because we don't become like them. Well, yeah, God tells us in Romans chapter 1, verse 21, I believe it is, where their foolish heart is darkened because they continue to walk pleasing their flesh instead of, that's right, walking and living by faith. And they don't have that because they're living in fear. Never forget that this spiritual battle for the mind, the devil is always trying to instill fear. So, garbage truck. So, that's another part of the need for excess inside of the body, because the enemy knows that the world is not as busy as it appears, right? And that the enemy is all about appearances, right? Okay, and so having excess salt on the inside of the body can lead to hallucination. Absolutely. He knows that. So never forget, it's very, very important. But pay attention to, there's your final tip of the day, is if you're going to go on an increase of supplementation, be mindful of the other ingredient. If you can't pronounce it, you don't want it. It's that simple. Exactly. Thank you. It is a unity of the whole mind, body, emotion, spirit. Okay, self-realization, no longer needing external validation. Exactly. Thank you. That's one of the first things we got to do, is if we have any dependency on external validation, we got to break that. We got to break that. Realize the Godhead on the inside is the only validation that we need. No matter what the matrix tries to throw at us, trying to tell us that there's something wrong with our website. Ain't nothing wrong with the website. Ain't nothing wrong with the website. And there's nothing wrong with this channel. There's nothing wrong with Consulting for Heightened Awareness. There's nothing wrong with the growing community of spiritual warriors for Christ. We are made in God's perfect image, the way He intended us to be. And that's all that matters. It don't matter what the world says. But yes, as y'all can see, God has us switching it up a little bit, trying a new thing, trying new color combos, stuff like that. All right, there you go. But yeah, remember also that the mind, body, and spirit connection, that is right, spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. Those three must happen. That's your mind, body, and spirit reconnect on those three. Okay? Spiritually, emotionally, and psychologically. Those three. Because once we know we are in control of our emotion, that's right, all the enemy can try and do is attack the physical. Because he thinks the battle we're in is physical. We know it's not. It's spiritual. So, well, thank you, Chris. Thank you. And so I wanted to go ahead and just give you all that. But remember that. Mind, body, and spirit connection. Because there's a lot of people, because of the word body, there's a lot of misinterpretation of that, where they think it means the physical, and it doesn't. Okay, so we are going to wrap it up on that point, and just watch out for those lies of the Matrix. Question everything. That's what we're doing. We are questioning everything now in God's reality, because it's a lot to unpack as we purge that subconscious mind, make room for God's wisdom. So don't hesitate, again, to check out CHA Academy, btbw.com, okay, that's to help y'all level up your trauma healing and spiritual growth. There you go. All right, everybody, I am Michelle Dickey, your host for CHA's Truth Seeker podcast on the YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance. Yes, this is Consulting for Heightened Awareness's CHA YouTube channel. And you will find more on the Patreon channel. That link is also below. You have to hit that arrow for the video description, and it's down there. It's also on my social page of the website. So that link is also down there. CHA social platforms. So you can go see where we are located on that as well. And if you're on the same platform, I highly encourage y'all to join us across all platforms, because like I did yesterday, I put out different messages across 5 of our platforms. That's right. Some of them were a little similar, but worded differently, because we're really trying to get that known out here, what our movement now is. Because we have the mission, now we have a movement. It's more than a mission. Okay, for healthier living, because we can do this. We must do this. Because God does not want us sitting around feeling bad all the time. No, He don't want us feeling bad at all. God is not a God of pain and suffering. That's the devil. That's the devil. And it's these narcissists out here who feed on that pain and suffering. And so, as we live healthier lives, we're not in pain and suffering, so we starve them of that fuel. That's right. That's what it's all about. We got to starve them Don't give them no more emotional reaction. No more. They don't deserve an explanation. We don't have to do that. See, chosen one, that's what we learn. We don't have to explain ourselves. No more. That's a trauma response. Feeling the need to explain yourself. And so we overcome that. Okay, now, I mean, as far as in this community, if we want to clarify something or, further explain something, that's one thing. But we don't have to explain ourselves. We don't have to explain why we're saying or doing what we're saying and doing. Because that's God guiding our steps. And it's no longer us who walks, but Christ who walks through us. All right, everybody? So keep on keeping on. Yes. And thank you all for being here as well. You're welcome. And thank you for being here. But I highly encourage y'all to join us. If you don't want to enroll in the course, you can join the membership. Yeah, we've got the membership. You have the annual or monthly option. Now, when you do the annual membership, you save 25%. But the membership also gives you access to the community forum where we convene. Iron sharpening iron. And so you'll get little tidbits with the fun facts and short Bible studies and some occasional funny word of the week when I have one. So we're working on that. All right. So there you go. And it's just kind of like, our own community in there at the academy. For spiritual warriors for Christ. That's what we are. And so let's keep on keeping on, everybody. Stay focused. Don't believe the lies of the Matrix. If the Matrix tried to tell us something, we're gonna go. Hold on a second. Let me check the Bible. Let me check the Bible. What God got to say about that? Because God has the authority over all, right? Glory be to God. That's right. Okay, so yes, on the YouTube channel, Narcissism and Cognitive Dissonance. This is where trauma healing and spiritual growth are front and center while combating radio frequency for healthier living. Sending love and light to all fellow warriors. Thank you for watching, listening, and for your support. Till next time, let's show some gratitude to the Heavenly Father. And you keep being you. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay.